This is Mrs. Dawson, and the following is an example on how to find and graph an inverse function. A. Find the inverse of f of x equals negative 3/5 x plus 1. Let's begin by writing the original problem. F of x equals negative 3/5 x, or the opposite of 3/5 x, plus 1. Now, if we're going to find an inverse, it's easiest to work with x's and y's. So instead of leaving f of x in the problem, let's replace that with the variable y. Y equals negative 3/5 x plus 1. Function notation, and then we have notation with a y equals. So something you're a little more familiar with. In order to find an inverse, the first thing we want to do is exchange x and y. So our new equation is x equals negative 3/5 y plus 1. Our next step will be to solve for y. Subtracting 1 from both sides, x minus 1 equals the opposite of 3/5 y. In order to eliminate the negative 3/5, we'll multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal, negative 5/3. And our new equation is negative 5/3 x plus 5/3 equals y. The inverse of the function negative 3/5 x plus 1 is y equals negative 5/3 x plus 5/3, and rewriting in inverse notation, the inverse of the function f of x is equal to the opposite of 5/3 x plus 5/3. Part B. Graph the function and its inverse. From Part A, the original function was f of x equals the opposite of 3/5 x plus 1. And we found the inverse of f of x to be the opposite of 5/3 x plus 5/3. So let's graph these two. Negative 3/5 x plus 1 has a y-intercept of 1, and then we can move down 3, 1, 2, 3, and write 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And connect them with a line. The inverse, negative 5/3 x plus 5/3, has a y-intercept of 5/3, which is 1 2/3, and then the slope is negative 5/3. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 3. And we'll connect those with a line. This was the inverse, and this one was the original function. Now there should be a relationship between the graph of the function and the graph of the inverse. Let's take a look at the line y equals x. Let's highlight that so we can take a closer look. F of x, when reflected across the line y equals x, is the result, the inverse, of f of x.